2/3 of the month is over and we need to get ready for this final push. So let's do this. Rough Draft Challenge, day 21. Let's go. Hi, my name is Dawn Dalton. I am a freelance writer and an author, and this month, just like the last couple, feels like it's been flying by. And so far, I have been able to stay pretty caught up on my writing, and I'm super happy about that. Like, it has been a long darn time since I managed to actually stay caught up on my writing. I didn't get any work done on Press Start on my last day off, so hopefully this weekend I'll be able to sit down with my manuscript and go over it one final time before going into formatting, back matter, and all that fun stuff that I still have to do. It is actually getting pretty late in the day. I just finished dinner. I'm about to let the dog out for her post-dinner constitutional. But tonight I needed to send an email for freelance stuff, trying to use my powers for good. And then I need to sit down and get some typing done and get some handwriting done. And I think I'm going to take my notebook upstairs while I let the dog out, just so that I can get some writing done while I'm waiting on her. I've been super happy about this challenge so far. I haven't really had the full sense of community that I normally would, but I also haven't really been engaging that much on the Discord server, or I know that I can go to some of the regional events for the other November challenge and nobody will question, but I don't know how I feel about that. I do know that, like, this weekend I do kind of want to go to the library. Part of the problem being my regular library that I absolutely love has been closed for renovation, and the other local library that I really like to go to is also closed for renovation, to the point where they actually have relocated a lot of the collection into a nearby mall, but there aren't enough places to sit and hang out at the mall location. So I do need to find some place to sit and write this weekend, just so I can have some focus time. But other than that, this month has been going really well. I have been enjoying being able to dig back into my creativity. I'm not 100% sold on the way that I've been tracking everything in my planner, but that is a future me problem. Current me's problem is making sure that the dog gets outside and I get to writing. It is Friday the 22nd, and I'm still very much on track, if not a little bit ahead for my writing, and still a little bit behind for my handwriting. Yesterday was a fairly solid day for typing. I did 1,752 words and handwrote 2 pages. So pretty much on par for this challenge. I'm home from work. I've got some time before my role-playing game tonight, so I'm hoping to get all of my words in. First thing I gotta do actually is edit my vlog for the week. and there is a small non-zero chance that in the next hour I will need to get on a video call for work. I got an email this morning, but my boss says I'm probably not needed for it because it's dealing with stuff that doesn't actually affect my job right now as it is. So I'm gonna do this editing and hopefully get my vlog up, and then I guess we'll see. My coworker is supposed to text me if I need to hop into this meeting, so. Happy Monday. Obviously I'm just got into work. I had a couple minutes, so I thought I would do a quick update. I didn't really film this weekend because, I don't know, it's difficult for me to pick up a camera when there's somebody else in the room to talk to it. It's easier to get the B-roll because I know that I don't have to talk over it. This weekend was not so great for writing. Friday I wrote 1 page and that was it. Saturday and Sunday I got my typing in. Saturday I did get caught up on the words that I missed on Friday, but I didn't do any handwriting, so I need to crank in on that. Today is definitely a Monday. It's been already crazy just getting into work. There's construction crew outside. So yeah, I'm gonna get some work done and hopefully get some writing in when I get home. But first, work. So let's pretend for a moment that I didn't just come home from work and slack. But if I said that I didn't, I'd be lying. I came home and I played a little Stardew Valley just sort of to let my brain switch. But it is now time to focus down now that the puppy is done with her snacks for the evening. It's time to focus in on writing. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie when I say that I'm a little burned out on this month. I feel like I put a little bit too much on my plate as far as writing goes. Normally during November the goal is just the words, and if I get pages, I get pages. And the fact that I've put the pressure on to not only get pages but to get a book published and the words might have been just a little bit too much, and my brain is saying nope. But we are in the final stretch and it is time to crack down and try to get as much done as humanly possible. Happy day 26. Last night was fairly average day. Got my words in, got 2 pages written. I started today with high hopes. I worked from home today because all I had was computer work that absolutely had to get done before Thursday, and then I didn't get as much sleep as I had hoped, but I was like, oh well, because I don't have to commute today, I can use that time to take a nap. And all hopes were dashed for nap time because somebody peed on my bed. And she always manages to nail my side of the bed. And I can't be too mad at her because, let's all be honest, when super old age you will become, being able to hold your bladder probably not high on the list. So I'm doing extra laundry. I didn't get a nap, so I've been kind of just meh for today. I did get all of the computer work done, sent an email to my boss to let him know so that he could just double check to make sure everything that's supposed to be on sale did actually get a sale price. I managed to get it done a day ahead of when it absolutely had to be finished, so we're good. But I don't really want to look at a computer screen. And I know I need to look at a computer screen for at least a little bit. So I'm trying to get the gumption to do it. So day 26. Happy Friday the 29th. I didn't record yesterday. It was Thanksgiving, so we had a lot of people over, and the noise level in the house was just not conducive to recording, obviously. I did get caught up and ahead on my writing. We are sitting at 48,000 words so far for this month. I could actually skip typing today and still be good. I'm not going to because I want to finish this draft, and I kind of want to finish it today. So I have the house to myself for the weekend. Everybody's out at a wedding, and I got to stay home with May just because she is old and getting to the point where we don't want to have anybody outside the family watching her, just in case. So I got done with work. I ran to the craft store on my way home. I've already done an article today before I left for work, so I think because I have the house to myself, I'm going to do a little bit of cleaning, and then I want to finish this draft, and I have to edit a video because it is Friday and I need to get a video up. But yeah, I think for the most part this weekend, it's mostly going to be handwriting. I did finish the notebook that I was working in for the first call signs book, so I get to now switch colors and work on the second book, as well as working on the fourth house, that gaming built book. That one is still fighting me a little bit, so yeah. But first I want to clean up the table a little bit so that I can do some sewing, because I also have to get everything ready for First Friday and another craft show this next weekend. So the end of the month is always just a little bit busy with the prep for the beginning of the next month. I also really want to burrow in and start thinking about next year and how I want to set up my planner. The test run for November wasn't the greatest, but I will talk about that in my December setup. But first, I think we're going to clean up my desk, do a little bit of pickup of all the stuff behind me, run the vacuum, because now I can run the vacuum in our bedroom. And yeah, just sort of get as much off of my brain as humanly possible so that I can kind of cozy in and just focus on the writing. I have a second cup of coffee because some genius went to work with only 1 cup of coffee. So I'm gonna sip on this, I think, while I edit my video. Happy Saturday! It is the last day of November, and I am definitely getting a late start in on the day. I didn't get the best sleep last night, so kind of had a very slow start to the day. It's already in the afternoon. I did finish the last little bit of the first call signs book last night, getting it all typed up, putting me just over 50,000 words, which means I did win the Ruby level of the Rough Draft Challenge and earned myself $50 worth of stationery. The other part is obviously the handwriting and the publishing press start. And let's discuss that elephant in the room right now. Because while I did manage to do a bunch of edits on press start, I am not ready to hit publish. I do want to do another major pass of it just to make sure everything is the way I want it to be. I still have to write my back matter. I still have to do like all of the fiddly bits and marketing to go along with it. And so I am making the absolutely heartbreaking decision to not publish a second book this year. And that hurts. When I started this year, one of my major goals was to publish 2 books. And I did publish my debut novel in March. And that was the scariest, most amazing thing I did in my life. And I will be forever grateful to Roll of the Dice and everybody who has been along for this journey and watched me go through the scariest thing in the world of hitting publish on my debut novel. And to everybody who bought my debut novel. I cannot thank you guys enough for that. So not putting out the second book when I had originally planned on basically publishing every 6 months is absolutely heartbreaking to me. And I don't want to put out something that I don't love with all of my heart. And there are some parts of Press Start that I think need a little bit more work before it is ready to be published. So I'm going to push back publishing until 2025. That also gives me a little bit of breathing room to get everything tweaked the way I want it to start working on all the edits for Roll of the Dice, which is book 3, and to start plotting and planning and getting book 4, which is picking up the pieces, written and starting the process on that one. But for the Rough Draft Challenge, I won. I got my book written, and it's definitely still a draft because there are still scenes missing from it. Obviously at 50,000 words, it's not quite novel length, but it is actually typed up. So today, because it's already so late in the day and I have a bunch of other stuff that I need to accomplish, which includes a bunch of crafting that I want to get done, My goal today is just to write 2 pages, 3 if I'm really feeling it, just so I can kind of keep up the momentum of working on a book, but I'm obviously not going to catch up on the deficit of pages that I got myself into going into this month. And that does bother me that I am working in a deficit for the year for both my handwriting and my typing, but I also know that I started this year without a job. All I did was write and freelance and do craft fairs, and that is not obviously how the year is ending. I have a job that also sends me out to do shows. I already know in 2025 that I have a show in January that I am going to. So today it's just going to be some handwriting and probably playing some video games, and I need to work on some jewelry, and I think that that's how I'm going to end my weekend, is making jewelry and sort of just enjoying the quiet of the house before everybody comes back on Monday. And yeah, so I'm just gonna kind of enjoy today, and I will come back and wrap this thing up. All right, so I got the final numbers in, and they're not as abysmal as I thought they would be for at least the handwriting portion of this month. So let's go over the numbers and what it means for my goals and for my buying of stationery products now that November is over. First things first, I wrote 50,114 words in the First Call Science book. That means that I obviously won the Ruby level of the Rough Draft Challenge. And I did put 164 words into Press Start. And I wrote 52 handwritten pages this month, which honestly I thought I was a lot further behind than I actually was. But there at the end of the month, I did stay pretty consistent with getting my pages handwritten. So I'm very happy about that. I did finish 1 pen and 1 notebook, which always makes me happy. So with all of that said, that means that I get $50 for writing 50,000 words, and I get an additional $5 for writing 50 pages. I do not get $25 for publishing my book because, as I said in the last clip, I am pushing back publishing till next year just so that the book is as good as it can be. And part of that is it took me 5 years from conceiving the idea of Game On to hitting publish. So why did I think that less than a year was going to be a good idea for publishing Press Start? But with all of that being said, I am super proud of the amount of progress I made this month. I'm really glad that I pushed myself to do another 50,000 word challenge. It does help make up some of the deficit of the typing I have been doing this year, which means I can go into the last month of the year having actually completed something I put in my path. So I'm super excited about that. I'm super thankful to Sarah Cannon for getting this all set up. And yeah, if you guys are enjoying watching me figure it all out, be sure to feed the algorithm, boop that like button, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye.